Everybody, this is your boy JP from Off the Ball Network. Week 3 is finally in the books of the NFL regular season. Before we get into the recap of the games, make sure you subscribe down below to Off the Ball Network for all your sports needs. And check us out on our social media platforms. And check us out on offtheballnetwork.com for all your sports needs, article, podcasts, everything you need on offtheballnetwork.com. Shout out to the guys from Off the Ball Network doing their thing. We're in year 2. We're going stronger than year 1, so check us out. Let's go ahead and get into the NFL recaps. We see the Carolina Panthers still undefeated, beating the Texans 24-9 on Thursday Night Football. Sam Darnold had himself a really good game. He was 23 out of 34 for 304 yards. They didn't have the Christian McCaffrey got hurt and Jace Horn got hurt, so that's pretty significant injuries right there. DJ Moore played really well with 8 receptions and 126 yards. They're 3-0. They are 3-0. Am I sold on the Panthers? I'm not sold on the Panthers just yet, as they didn't really face a lot of good teams. You know, I mean, you can make an argument for the Saints, but they didn't really face a lot of good teams so far. So we got to hold off on Carolina might win the NFC South and all that. And just chill. Sam Darnold's been playing really good. He's been playing really good, so just give him time. You know, they didn't the Texans didn't have Tyrod Taylor as Davis Mills started, and they didn't really do a lot of much. You know, I mean, you know, they only scored 9 points. So, anyways, but Carolina got the win, 24-9. Then the Washington football team, who everybody expect to be a really good team, with Chase Young leading the defense, and then you know Fitzpatrick got hurt. Tyler Higbee played really well last week, and they just been disappointing. They really been disappointing. Buffalo destroyed the Washington football team 43-21. Pretty much, like, they could put up 50, 60 points if they would let them, but they just decided, the Bills decided to kneel down last couple minutes of the game. They could have easily had 50 or 60 on their head. Josh Allen, who we've been very critical about, not been performing really well, you know, after getting that contract and being a top 10 player, you know, in the NFL, from the NFL top 100, that, oh, Josh Allen's going to be the real deal this year. He is going to be the real deal. He's going to lead Buffalo. And this is his best game yet. 32 out of 43, 358 yards, 4 touchdowns. Man, my man Mo Murphy was so critical of him past couple weeks. Shut him up this time on it. But that's just only one game. That's just one game against supposed to be a really good defensive Washington football team. But I don't even know what the heck is going on with them. I really just do not know. But Cole Beasley played really well with 11 receptions, 98 yards. Zach Moss played well, 13 carries for 60 yards. Pretty much, Tyler Higbee couldn't really do anything. It's not really Tyler Higbee's fault. I mean, I just don't know what's going on with the football team. They've just been really, really disappointed. Just really disappointed. Even though they got a win, but they, like, in games like this, you gotta at least compete. It just seems like they wasn't competing. Like, they gotta play a whole lot better than that. But the Bills got the victory, 43-21. The Bills versus the Browns. Justin Fields' first start. Matt Nagy needs to be fired because he put Justin Fields in a bad spot. They didn't really get him prepared enough. You know, yeah, you're going to make rookie mistakes and all that, but it just seems like Matt Nagy just didn't put him in, like, in terms of success. So pretty much just buried him out there on the Browns defense and all. Baker Mayfield, 19 out of 31, 246 yards, 1 touchdown. Nick Chubb, 22 carries, 84 yards. Odell coming back because Jarvis Landry's out, 5 receptions, 77 yards. They pretty much, Justin Fields had nowhere to go, nowhere to run or hide. Passing was just prohibited. Matt Nagy, like I said, really screwed up Justin Fields here. And, you know, now he's saying that, you know, Nick Foles and injured Andy Dalton and Justin Fields. Well, I don't know who's going to start for week 4. How about you get fired and give Justin Fields a coach? How about that? Because, you know, we need to apologize to Mitch Trubisky because he played on the Matt Nagy. And you see Mitch Trubisky being the backup to Josh Allen. Played really well yesterday. Well, not yesterday, but 2 days ago. And, you know, it's not really Mitch Trubisky's fault. Possibly. It's probably, it has the common dollar, which is Matt Nagy. He needs to be fired. Fired, I said. Fired. But Justin Fields just couldn't do anything yesterday. The Browns destroyed the Bears 26-6. The Ravens versus the Lions, I was really disappointed in the offense, especially Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson really disappointed me because he didn't really play well this game. But Justin Tucker was unbelievable, hitting a freaking historic NFL record of 66 yards. That's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Saved them the game because the Lions played really well. They played really well. Like, they competed. See, like, the difference is with the 49ers and the Packers, they at least put up points. The Ravens didn't really put up points like that and struggled against a competitive Lions team, leading by Jared Goff. And they just couldn't do anything. And Lamar really struggled. But Justin Tucker came in and saved the day. I mean, saved the day. So the Ravens defeated the Lions 19-17. I think of Baltimore after getting that feel-good win against a really good Chiefs team was going to take it easy against the Lions. Never take it easy on an NFL team because everybody's professional here. But, I mean, they just didn't play well. Hopefully they play better the next game. The Colts versus the Titans. Carson Wentz with 2 sprained ankles still played against the Titans. Ryan Tannehill threw for 3 touchdowns, was 18 of 27, 197 yards. Derrick Henry with 28 carries, 113 yards. Carson Wentz is never the answer. Like, Carson Wentz he's not that great. He is not great. People was talking about, he almost won MVP with the Eagles and all that, blah, blah, and he just never lived up to the expectations that people want him to do. So, yeah, the Colts are the defense did everything they could. They got a good defensive line and a good linebacker core, leading by Darius Leonard, and it wasn't enough because the offense is horrible. Like, get you a quarterback here. But the Titans defeated the Colts 25-16. Chargers versus the Chiefs, which is a very underrated game here. And with a surprise, the Chargers beat the Chiefs 30-24. The Chiefs' defense is horrible. Like, Patrick Mahomes didn't really have a great day. But we can't really blame the offense because offense can be great and, they can turn on, turn off, but they are great. But the defense is horrible. Horrible. Justin Herbert, 26 out of 38, 281 yards, 4 touchdowns. Mike Williams had a game of his life, 7 receptions, 122 yards, 2 touchdowns. When the Chiefs' offense can get you those points, but if the defense is not there, then, it's tough. It's tough to win games without a great defense, though. But, everybody played well. Travis Kelce did everything he could. Tyreek Hill did everything he could. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 17 carries, 100 yards. Mahomes played all right, but, the defense was just terrible. And they just signed Josh Gordon from, him coming back to the league. How about you get Richard Sherman or get some defensive player? Richard Sherman is still out there, could help you defensively. Get you a defensive player. Why would you go out and get Josh Gordon? Your offense is already good. Why? Just why? But anyways, Chargers defeated the Chiefs 30-24. Saints versus the Patriots. Jameis Winston had a really good game. And, Saints defeated the Patriots 28-13. Matt Jones, 30 out of 51, 270 yards, 1 touchdown. Alvin Kamara played better than he did last week. But yeah, Jameis Winston played really well. He played really well. I feel like the Patriots are just ready for Tom Brady to come back. When Tom Brady comes back to New England this week, our eyes is going to be on that game. That is the anticipated matchup. It ain't Tom Brady versus Matt Jones. It's Bill Belichick versus Tom Brady. That's going to be the match, and the Bucs will probably destroy the Patriots. The Patriots is an all-right defensive team. They're still learning offensively, but yeah, seeing the Patriots 1-2, oof, ouch, just ouch. Matt Jones with 3 interceptions. It's just, you're making those mistakes. You're gonna learn and everything. So, but the Saints really kept their points consistent, scoring 7 points in each quarter. Man, Bill Belichick was he's just getting ready for Tom Brady. That's the game he really wants to win. So, But I feel like Tom Brady got something up his sleeve, though, after losing to the Rams, which we'll get to in just a minute. All right, let's go to the Falcons versus the Giants, and the Falcons got their first win. I'm surprised. I thought the Giants was a better team than the Falcons, but apparently, no, they're not. No, they're not. And finally, they like Daniel Jones, 24, 35, 266 yards. Saquon Barkley, 16 carries, 51 yards, a touchdown. Yeah, they finally got themselves a win. I mean, it was close, and that's all I could say about it. Falcons is not going to go 0-17. Maybe the Giants might go 0-17. They probably can't win a game. Probably. We just have to wait and see. The Bengals versus Steelers. Everybody was talking about how bad the Steelers played. Everybody's disappointed in the Steelers. Phil Roethlisberger didn't play well, but he's dealing with a patellar injury. But what really killed it is that a lot of really good defensive players was out. T.J. Watt was out, big time. Joe Hayden was out, really good cornerback. Devin Bush was out, really good defensive player. So all three of them were out. So I wasn't surprised that the Bengals put up 24 points against the Steelers. Joe Burrow threw 3 touchdowns. They didn't even have T. Higgins too. So he played really well. So Najee Harris did 14 receptions, 102 yards. But I wasn't surprised that the Steelers lost that like that, But the Bengals is looking good. They're 2-1 right now. They're looking good right now. So, and they're a very underrated team with some weapons, and Joe Burrow trying to find his niche and everything. So they're coming along. The Cardinals versus Jaguars, really don't want to talk about this game because obviously we already know the end result. The Cardinals defeated the Jaguars 31-19. Kyler Murray didn't really throw an interception. Didn't really throw a touchdown. He had 316 yards, 28 out of 34. He had 1 interception. AJ Green played really well. We're still trying to see DeAndre Hopkins kind of come out, and perform. I know he's probably getting double team and everything, but he's not really putting up the numbers yet. But pretty much, J.J. Watt and that defense was just tearing up Trevor Lawrence. Look, Urban Meyer might be going 0-16, so is Trevor Lawrence. And they haven't really experienced that, but they're about to go 0-16. There's no way they're going to win a game this year. I'll be shocked if they win a game this year. The Jets versus Broncos, another team that probably will go 0-17. I meant 0-17, not 0-16. Jets probably might go 0-17. They're excited to watch with Zach Wilson, but Zach Wilson is going to probably struggle throughout the season, unless there was like a miracle that could happen. But Teddy Bridgewater, 19 out of 25, 235 yards. Melvin Gordon played really well, 61 yards, 18 carries, 1 touchdown. And the Broncos are 3-0. They're 3-0. They're looking really good. Am I sold on Denver? Not yet, but they're looking good. Just saying. Dolphins against the Raiders, and the Raiders is 3-0 still. That's probably the team that shocks me, but not really shocking because they have some weapons and everything. The defense is playing good too as well, but the 3-0. Derek Carr's having a really MVP type of season in the first couple games. They're looking good. They're really looking good. 26 out of 43, 386 yards, 2 touchdowns. Peyton Barber played really well. And then the field goal by Carlson really helped the Raiders defeat Miami 31-28. And this is without Tua. So, Dolphins did everything they could, but they were up 14-2 and they let them come back like that. And yeah, the Dolphins could have had it, but what else could you say? Now, this is the game of the week right here, the Buccaneers versus the Rams, where we saw Matthew Stafford pretty much is like leading the charge in terms of MVP votes. Like Matthew Stafford, I knew Matthew Stafford was going to have a game. Well, the Bucs secondary is awful. Awful. And Brady was going to struggle against that Rams defense with Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey and all them. But but it was pretty good shootout though. But Matthew Stafford, 4 touchdowns, outdoor Tom Brady. Tom Brady, 41 out of 55, 432 yards and a touchdown. Deshaun Jackson had himself a game too. 120 yards, 3 receptions and a touchdown. They could not stop that deep threat. They really couldn't. Rams defeated the Buccaneers 34-24. The Rams are still undefeated. The Rams, This is the NFC Championship right here. This is the NFC Championship. The Rams and Buccaneers, that's the NFC Championship. And they're going to see each other later on in those playoffs. Oh, I can't wait for that. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. Because like I said, you can get Tom Brady in the regular season, but in the playoffs, can you do it in the playoffs? Can you do it, Matthew Stafford? Just have to wait and see. Seahawks versus the Vikings. Vikings got that first win. Yes. Kirk Cousins, 30 out of 38, 323 yards, 3 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson with 9 receptions, 118 yards, and a touchdown. Pretty much cruise against the Seahawks right here. And Seahawks is very disappointed. They're a very disappointing team. And I mean, they didn't score no points in the second half. That Vikings defense is very underrated good. They finally get in the niche. The Vikings haven't been competitive. They've been competitive the first 2 games, but they lost though. But they've been very competitive. They've been in those games, but they finally got that win over. So I'm very excited for the Vikings. Seahawks still need to do something. They've been really disappointing so far. Packers versus the 49ers, where we saw a very tremendous game-winning drive by Aaron Rodgers in the fourth quarter. 23 out of 33, 261 yards, 2 touchdowns. Just a bad man doing his thing. Aaron Jones, 19 carries, 82 yards, 1 touchdown. Guess who showed up? Davante Adams finally showed up after we had to put out a missing receiver report with Davante Adams. Like, where you at, man? Where are you at? Got 12 receptions, 132 yards, and a touchdown. Very, very, very impressive. And, you know, the 49ers did well, too, as well. Jimmy Garoppolo played well. I just knew that, you know, that winning game, you know, was going to be limited because everybody's injured. So, I mean, they didn't really have, like, that, you know, that winning game. But it was a very close game. It was a really good game. Both teams 2-1. Eagles versus the Cowboys. I don't even want to talk about this because Cowboys destroyed the Eagles pretty much. Yeah, it was so bad. It was like 26-7 at one point. I mean, it was just god awful. Just god awful. I mean, Dak played really well. Ezekiel Elliott finally played really well. I like Tony Pollard. He's going to be really exciting, very explosive. But Zeke has 17 carries, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dalton Schultz, 6 receptions, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns. So, yeah, they played really good football yesterday. So, that was your NFL recap. Comment down below your favorite game. Comment down below of your biggest winners, your biggest losers, most surprising team you're seeing playing really well, most disappointing team. Comment down below. Definitely follow Off the Ball Network for all your sports needs. Check us out on our social media platforms. Check us out at offtheballnetwork.com. Hey, I mean, the sky is the limit for the network. We are growing. Join the movement. Support the movement. Tell everybody and your mamas and everybody about it because we are growing. We are trending. And I'm JP, and we are out of here. Peace.